This is Matiul speaking on the significance of International Mother Language Day, February 21st. In 1999, UNESCO, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, announced February 21st the International Mother Language Day in honor of those who gave lives to protect mother language. In 1952, around Dhaka University campus in Bangladesh, demanding rights to speak and work in mother language, and also to claim that everyone has the right to learn in their own language, and that it is an important means to improve learning outcomes and their social and emotional development. Now, globally, 40% of the students' population does not have access to education in their own language. So, International Mother Language Day can have a significant impact in promoting knowledge of cultural values and thinking based on their identity and personal interests. UNESCO's call to countries to pursue policy of multi-language-based education which can improve equity, equality, inclusion, diversity, and mutual respect. These calls can help reduce tensions between cultures, traditions, and stop social discrimination against minority language speakers. It is estimated that about 6,000 languages spoken today around the world. These are mostly based on oral traditions and without written scripts. Of course, about 43% of the languages are endangered. Canadian Parliament has passed a resolution in support of UNESCO's call to celebrate International Mother Language Day nationwide from this year, with a plan to preserve and revitalize indigenous languages, upholding the rights of indigenous people to be able to speak in their mother tongue. There are about 70 different languages, indigenous languages, spoken in Canada by more than 189,000 individuals, hundreds of whom languages are used by the immigrants and citizens from other countries in Canada. Accordingly, K to kindergarten to grade 12 education system needs to address this issue. Universities in Canada doesn't allow students to get into the program, undergraduate program, without having at least two languages proficiency. One is the first language, and the other one is the second language. Students must have to take some other language, like, say, for example, Spanish, Japanese, Punjabi, and many other languages. 3 of my sons took Japanese and Spanish language in their school when they were young, but now they have forgotten most of those because there is no use of those languages. This is why mother language is essential when you take the second language to prepare for university admission. That way they can use their mother language when they visit their home country and communicate with other community members. So school program actually can be very functional and actually applied. And it is possible if government and provincial and state and international organizations like UNESCO and NGOs, they can actually initiate mother language based classes using online services, including some other language, for example, Braille for the blinds, and any technology that can be used to help communication, learning, and create inclusive society. So this is how we can actually bring from oral traditions to the written and to the classroom preparation for international communities, for diverse culture and traditions. And literacy can be developed in that area. I designed a course in 1997 to 98 for University of Northern British Columbia by the name Oral Traditions and Literacy Development. That had a ground, base level implications for this movement, as I have discussed this idea with Muhammad Rafiq, who actually initiated this movement. And this is the textbook I used. Oral Traditions and Literacy Development was the course. And Other People's Words, actually, by Victoria Purcell Gates, was the textbook I used. And Rafiq was very happy to see this book. And we discussed and continued our dialogues for a long time. And that has been the foundational aspect of language and literacy development for the students coming from different cultures. And I was actually also serving as the president of Vancouver Multicultural Society, a combination of all the cultural societies in Vancouver, close to 100 organizations from different countries. They all were struggling with the language issue, that what they use in their houses were not being used in the society. And there is a gap, isolation of their family members from home to school and home to society. And this is a trend actually continuing now. So this movement, International Mother Language Movement, if we can actually make good use of it in education system, we can revitalize our identity issue, and also the foundational knowledge, the local knowledge and knowledge of families to be integrated in education system. There are a number of important people in the history of educational research in the area of literacy, including Paulo Freire, who is considered as one of the guru, who talks about self-actualization. He called it conscientization, which helps everybody's ideas, thinking to bring into the dialogue for problem solving, for discussions and negotiations in the form of knowledge development. A lot of other people, like from Toronto University, David Olson talked about how the written aspect of literacy development can change the meaning of the local knowledge. If you look at the keywords, how those words are perceived by different person in different culture, in tradition. And when you try to impose a structured literacy program in the form of advanced text development in writing, you can see that the diversity, the uniqueness, individualization aspect is not there. People like Noam Chomsky, for example, talked about manufacturing consent in a film I used in that particular course. I also used many other works, Illich Evans' Deschooling Society. The school is not actually helping us much because of this, because the school is not using the knowledge of the students' tradition and society, and actually becoming useless in a way, in many ways. And as you can see, the knowledge we have, we can educate people to become very important person in the world in our eyes, but not as a good human being, and that doesn't help. So connection with the families, connection with the society, connection with their heritage makes a big difference. Vygotsky Jack Goody, they talked about social implications of literacy and writing. And of course, many other scholars. Some of our contemporary scholars, like Bud Hall, for example, he doesn't talk much about young children's education, but adult education, and how the community-based research can help understanding and the knowledge of the local people, adults and youth. I think we can also, from contemporary, one of the professors I worked with, Kiran Egan at Simon Fraser University, he passed away in 2016, but he talked about the stories. Similar to Paulo Freire. Paulo Freire's stories are more for youth than adult, but I strongly feel that it has a significant impact in kindergarten to secondary education. And our experience with BRAC, Bangladesh Rural Advancement Committee, in terms of literacy development, especially we dealt with functional literacy, and as many of you know that BRAC has moved to many countries, including Afghanistan. We tried to use local knowledge in developing curriculum, school curriculum. And all these things can be advanced under the concept of International Mother Language Day. Culture, identity, flexibility, and the local knowledge can be of a great help for us. This International Mother Language Day was given as gift to us with the blood and lives of young people in 1952 in Bangladesh to make this world better. And some of our friends, like Rafiqul Islam, who brought this idea in light, bringing from northern British Columbian orality and literacy context to UNESCO with the help of government of Bangladesh. And now Canadian and all the governments around the world, over 200 countries, are practicing. But we want a real attention to this so that we can make basic literacy program useful to change our education system. Thank you for watching.